Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 6th. I'm going to talk about two separate issues related to the work from yesterday. So, this bottle is drying rather slowly, and that makes sense because compared to most forms, the inside doesn't get as much air and certainly doesn't get as much air movement. So, it's actually technically too soon for me to do anything with it. But I can check the balance, and that helps tell me if I'm bottom heavy, which then tells me do I need to be trimming it. And I think I do. I think I want to. There are two ways of trimming a bottle, in my experience. So the first, and in some ways the easiest, is to reattach it to the wheel head in a centered position, and then just trim what you need from the outside. And that's based on having a flat bottom, uh, no foot ring. And in this case, just now poking it, I can tell the clay there is thin enough that I really don't have anything to spare. It's so the extra clay is in this part of the wall, not in the bottom. If the bottom was thick, then I need to be able to turn it over. And one of the easiest ways to deal with that is to have a second pot, center that, get it attached to the wheel head, and use it as what's called a chuck. Um, some studios, they'll, they'll have a selection of chucks pre-made and bisqued, um, and you just have to get the right one. And then, of course, the trick, or whatever, is you're getting it set here. This it needs to be parallel with the wheel head. It can't be this way. So that complicates what's going on, which is why my first choice would be to trim it right side up. Okay, so that's that. Um, but I want to talk about. Okay, I've been pulling handles right off the pot and acting like that's the way to go all the time, and it's not. So I'm gonna do one where the angle I want on the handle is different and doesn't allow for pulling the handle right off the pot. But what most people get taught is to pull a handle separately and then set it somewhere to stiffen up for however long. And that's not necessary, and it's also not conducive to good handles or the best handles. Um, so we're going to show you the other way. So if I were pulling the handle right off the pot, it would have to come out, straight out. And what I want is one that's going to go like that. So this that I'm doing now may seem unnecessary. It's like, what's going on? But I find that it makes a stronger handle. And right now, in fact, the clay is a little wet. So this process is drying it out. My hand is taking up some of the moisture. Okay. But it's lining up particles. So the clay particles are like playing cards, very flat, thin, but they can be lined up. Okay. Now in this case, one of the challenges is imagining how much handle you're going to need. When you pull it right off the pot, you have direct feedback. You can just look at it and go, that's right or that's not right. Here I'm sort of guessing. And so when you're doing it on your own, you may find that you guess wrong sometimes. Okay, so at this stage, most teachers would have you then, put this on a table or something like that, but that's not where we're going. Got the needle tool, although you could use a fettling knife. Frankly, I don't know where my fettling knives are. Okay, now we're back to as if we were pulling it right off the handle or right off the pot. We can judge how much clay do we need, what kind of a loop do I want. Okay, now for something like this, because it's all so soft, it can be helpful to set the mug to dry or for the handle to stiffen upside down. So if I do it this way, there's a chance it's going to drip this way. But if I set it this way, it's more comfortable, shall we say. Anyway, so that's doing a loopish handle away from the mug. Have a good day.